do the sex.
Today's locker room talk topic is girls and porn. Not girls in porn, girls and porn. Women and porn, but whatever, you get it. Women identifying people, the porn we watch, because we do watch porn, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. But what I think is even more surprising is the porn we watch. What kind of porn? Like, what's happening in the porn?
Who?
Who's in the porn?
Where?
Where it's happening?
Why?
Why? I mean, I definitely have watched some porn and been like, why? And my guest today, here's what's really great. First of all, if you are not watching this on YouTube, you should head over to my YouTube channel, which is at Annette Benedetti. That's me. And you can watch it and you will be able to see my guests. And we are doing this podcast from my bedroom and my bed. I have two queer girls in my bed, which we were just discussing it is the first time. I just put my hand on her knee.
Shocking.
And both of my guests were shocked because my guests are my friends, and you are going to be familiar, definitely with one, but probably with both of them. I have Abbie here. Abbie, reintroduce yourself. Share which podcast your favorite that you were in the past.
Hi, folks. I'm Abbie. I have been on a few different episodes. Most famously, clitoral stimulation. Is that what it was called?
It was clit oral sex.
Oral sex.
What to know when you go down on her.
It was such a well thought out title.
And
good.
you know, the fact that Courtney is giving us a good rating on that comes as a high compliment because Abbie and I, we are bisexual, pansexual. We like it all. Courtney, well, that's going to be for another podcast, but up until very recently, Courtney was my token lesbian friend. And so what that means is if you liked Courtney, because I'm assuming you have gone down on a number of women in your lifetime. I mean,
Sure have.
I'm pretty confident. Oh boy. Then you think my advice is good. Then you think I know quite a bit about like I'm doing my job.
I loved your guys' stories about how much you couldn't wait to eat pussy. That was the best part.
Yes. We could not wait to eat pussy.
I can't even remember that part, but thank you.
So we talked about how much we thought about it. I can't remember the episode.
We should
either.
really just, listen to it again.
We should. So, Courtney, introduce yourself. And which podcast are you most memorably on?
I'm Courtney Castman, and I did a podcast on scissoring, aka tripping.
Scissoring and tripping, of course, because she is a lesbian who likes scissoring and tripping.
Who likes it?
Yeah, there are.
I'm good at it.
She's good at it. She is good at it. Indeed. I am not.
It's a hard thing to be good at.
It's a hard thing to be good at. I am very flexible. That helps the situation.
I mean, I feel like, it is.
All right, but we are
I'm
like
not
they were
that
not
flexible.
I know. Courtney Castman is also a tattoo artist. She's done my work. She's done a lot of beautiful work. You can see some of her work on YouTube. You can see some of her work on me on my Instagram, Being Benedetti. So I will be sharing how you can check her work out at the end of this podcast. That's when I'm going to share it with you.
Thanks, Annette.
You're welcome. I think this is a great mix of women for you. No, we don't have any heterosexual women here. But I think knowing that we have a lesbian and two bi women and finding out what we actually watch is going to make it intriguing to talk about the porn we watch. And I am going to be curious to hear from listeners if what we say we watch surprises you by the end of the show. We're all drinking different things. I got wine. She's got a Corona. We're all just drinking. So let's raise our glasses and let's get ready to talk about porn. Cheers. First, I want to confirm that we all enjoy watching porn. Like, for me, it is a regular part of my sexual satisfaction practice. What about you, Courtney?
Yeah. I like porn.
I want to confirm you just said that you like porn,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
I watch porn, yeah.
And Abbie, tell me your feelings on porn.
Well, I don't watch porn that frequently because I'm in a relationship, so it's not required. Though, it's not. I love how TV shows today, it's very frequently like viewed this way. That if you are in a relationship, there's always that scene of like you're in a long-term relationship and then you get caught like jacking off or like masturbating to porn and then ooh, you're a bad partner. So I say that because I don't think it's like one or the other. I think people need their alone solo dolo time. But yeah, I don't like need to do it as often as perhaps I would have when I was single. But yeah, like sometimes I watch porn. Yeah.
Well, so this is an interesting question I didn't even think of bringing up. I do know that it's oftentimes portrayed that when you're in a relationship that some partners, I think, consider people watching porn and getting off cheating.
Totally.
It's so insane to me.
Yeah, I know. Does anyone understand the concept behind consuming porn while in a relationship being cheating? Does anybody here understand that?
I have theories.
Can you share your theory?
Well, I think it's like very, what's the term? Like, I think it comes from that like Christian kind of like fundamentalist perspective
bad.
that is deep rooted into our society, where there's literally a thing in the Bible that says something along the lines of like, if you even look at a woman and you think about lusting after her, then you're sinning. And so, I mean, that's directly relatable, Yeah. So we kind of have like a toxic heteronormative culture. And so, there's even these weird toxic things of like, don't dance with a woman, don't flirt with a woman. And I'm saying woman, but it could be whomever.
Anybody.
It's also, in my opinion, from my personal standpoint, pretty, for lack of a better term, like childish, I think. It's kind of, you kind of need to grow up at a certain point and respect the fact that people need to like be able to masturbate. Like, you have like mastery of your own domain. Like, it's your body, you get to do what you want, and if you need to use like visual aids, like, come on.
Right. Well, and I mean, like, also, I think that there is this kind of like thing around like even thinking about someone else while you have sex is cheating. So it all plays into that. You're thinking about someone else because you're watching porn. But let's get down to what we watch, all right? Because obviously we watch porn. I want to start with, I'm going to start with Courtney because Courtney is a lesbian-ish. If you want to find out what that's all about, you're going to have to head over to Locker Room Talking Shots XXX, which is the paid-for subscription, just $5 a month for the leveled up conversations that we're having here that are just a little too spicy and full of information that we are unwilling to give away for free. And that will be published at the same time as this. But so you are a lesbian, and so people might have ideas about what kind of porn. I mean, I'm sure that they think that you go straight to lesbian porn.
They
sites.
do. It cracks me up. I actually love that I've talked to some clients about porn, and they are always shocked that I watch straight porn.
Did you wait? Lean in. Repeat that. You watch what?
Straight porn. I mean, not all the time exclusively. I search for queer porn too, but I definitely love. Yeah, I like dicks in my porn most of the time.
There it is. She likes dicks in her porn.
But I don't think that's going to come as a surprise to people in the queer community.
No, not at all.
It surprised me.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, as a queer woman who has dated a handful of lesbians, I feel like they always yuck the fact that I find dicks still to be a yum. They yuck my yum. They
are they yucking your like porn yum, or are they yucking the fact that you like dick and they don't have one?
I guess I assumed. I guess I assumed the fact that they yucked my cock yum, the yummy cock, the cocks that are yummy, that they would not want to see dick in their porn. And I mean, I remember,
and then they go home and watch hetero porn.
What? Well, all the straight girls are watching lesbian porn.
Totally, that's what my clients tell me.
Yeah, before I really, well, especially when I was in a marriage and, living the heteronormative life, I was watching like girl on girl porn all of the time.
I think people just want what they can't have. And you want to, I mean, that's the whole point in porn, is that it's a fantasy and it's something that you're not going to be doing, probably. So why not enjoy watching other people do it?
It's true. Yeah. All right. So
it's the taboo.
Yeah.
What's your go-to hetero porn? What is it? Like
Leo Lulu. Specifically. They're this fucking hot French couple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they never show their faces. And
I know exactly who you're talking about.
She is.
That sounded familiar.
Banging, and he has a huge cock.
Yeah, she's definitely gorgeous.
Oh my God, you're a lesbian who's a fucking size queen. What the fuck?
I'm not a size queen, but it's fun to watch people take something that you're like, whoa, how the fuck is that happening?
Right. So what do they do that's so... I rarely just watch plain. No, that's not... We'll get
I do get bored of them because they have their routine. She sucks his cock. She can, like, literally deep throat it, and it's huge. It's fucking crazy. It's like, where does it even go?
That shit's boring to me.
Yeah.
I have no interest in that.
It gets old, but they fuck outside all the time in different places, and they're just hot.
Okay.
And they're talking in French.
It's like heterosexual, like, fantasy, essentially. It's like they both have perfect bodies.
Yeah.
He's
got shitty tattoos.
His dick for forever. Like, they're probably... They make it seem like they're rich. Yes, she really does.
I have not seen this porn. That's your go-to. What?
Worth checking out. I mean, for a warm-up, yeah. That's my go-to.
Well, that's... Okay, we're going to start... That's Courtney's warm-up.
What?
That's
See, we use it. I think that this is another aspect of this conversation. Like, how do you utilize porn? Like, to what degree? Because I don't.
I mean, it depends. When I was really fucking horny and not getting sex as much as I want, there's like weeks where I'm watching porn like every day. Shit gets crazy after a while.
Yeah. All right. I've definitely been.
I feel that. I feel that.
Last year, when I was doing the 365 days of orgasms,
you watched a lot of
porn. I watched a lot, so much. Especially in the beginning. But then after I started, like, because in the beginning, I was taking 45 minutes to have an orgasm, and I needed, like, some entertainment. But by the end, like, I couldn't, like, this. Do you guys have this experience where, first I'll like, sit down to masturbate, and I'll be like, do I really want to bother trying to find the right porn? And then I'll be like,
I do have that experience.
And then if you're coming fast, like, suddenly I'd be like, oh my God, I'm not going to get to a good show fast enough before I come.
I'm wasting my porn minutes here.
Forcing your edge.
I'd have to edge, and or if I'm using specifically, I'm using a toy that has the clit sucker. I'd have to like pull the sucker off my clit and be like, whoa, let me get it. I want to watch a little this and a little that. And now I'm hungry. Now I'm hungry for it,
Oh my God.
That's true. And then when I'm just taking like a work day 15-minute break in my life, and then suddenly I'm like that employee that says, oh, I'm just taking my 15 and comes back 45 minutes later. Sorry. Totally real.
Do you watch porn every time you masturbate?
I usually do.
Most of the time.
Okay,
if I
that's
can.
not my experience.
Not every time, but most of the time. I didn't for years until it was like free and easy to get on your phone.
Yeah.
Which switched it up. I used to always use a dildo and a vibrator, get her done. But then I just started using a vibrator when I was watching porn all the time.
Yeah. So, meaning you don't put the dildo in you at the same time as you're using the vibrator?
No, I don't care anymore.
I got to give you a 2-in-1. There are 2-in-1 toys for that, guys.
I know.
Then you just shove it all on.
I
And
know.
You guys really do like gymnastic ass shit out here. I do not require this.
Here, head over to YouTube. Here's a 2-in-1er that goes right in your vagina. That goes right on your clit. It just stays in your hands free, man. And you can use both hands to scroll.
So you don't get a sore thumb.
I do. I start to get carpal tunnel sometimes. All right. So you watch basic heterosexual to warm up porn. Abbie, you're obviously clear.
Well,
You're familiar with this
and
couple.
you don't watch porn every time you masturbate.
Not even. Mm-mm. I have a really good imagination.
That's awesome.
And it's also, I feel like, better to do that.
The porn gets old.
There was like this documentary, I feel like, the chick, Kim Cattrall, I think that's her name. The woman who was in Sex and the City, like the older woman.
Yeah.
Who played Samantha.
Who like was talking about fantasy and how like the taboo nature of it and stuff. God, I wish I remembered what that was called. But that like stuck with me and how important like fantasy is and to like build on your fantasy and like really invest in your fantasy. And ever since then, like like not kidding, I watched that maybe 10 years ago. And so I've always practiced that. And I have like go-to like little things.
That's hot.
Like they're never they're not like the exact same thing, like, oh yeah, the Rock is coming in. It's not like that. But it's kind of like situational, circumstantial. So I don't really need porn. To me, it's more just like the cherry on top, whipped cream on your pie, like sprinkles on your cupcake. Like it's just extra. So especially if I want to like build up to something, I don't get porn because porn just is like quick. And it's kind of just like a necessity. I almost use it when I'm sick. You know, and I'm like, I just need to feel better right now. Quickly.
All right. So when you need to feel better, when you're a little low in the libido, what is your go-to?
Honestly, I don't have a go-to. Like sometimes I watch gay porn. Sometimes I watch straight porn. Boring straight porn. Every once in a while, I'll watch, like, some BDSM shit.
What kind?
I think it's probably more, like, basic BDM, like, rough sex. Not necessarily, like, real BDSM. It's, like, mainstream BDSM. I've seen the machine shit. Which... maybe that's after like a full day of watching porn because you're bored and you like got takeout or something. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's like never. That like never happens, especially like in a like relationship. You don't have days like that. You know, I mean, like I don't have a go-to, but I think there's some days where I'm like, you know, I just want to see two women loving on each other. And so I'll watch that. And then there'll be other days where I'm like, I really need, like, what I'm into right now is, like, a good pounding. And then I'll see rough sex. But to me, it's less about, like, what's happening and more about if I'm, like, attracted to the situation or the people, frankly.
Oh.
And I also make sure that I'm, like... watching porn that I feel like is like ethical.
I mean, probably the most ethical way to watch porn is to find a site to pay for, but I'm not going to lie to you. I
did for a little bit.
I don't pay for my porn.
It's not that expensive.
At this point in time, but now after you looked at me like that, Courtney, maybe I will. Jesus.
It was way better. I mean, I get sad and bored with the shit I get for free on the internet. It's all the fucking same.
It's gross.
Yeah.
So to me, it's funny though because I've had this conversation, particularly with men, around like, I'm not gonna buy porn. What? And then it's like, okay, but like what you're kind of saying is that you're feeling ashamed that you would buy into it, literally. But it's like, what? There's nothing to be ashamed about. So if you're going to do it, you better do it in a good way.
I think people are like, but there's so much free porn. But it's like, really the porn that you pay for is so much better than the free porn. It really is. It's not the same standard, heteronormative, boring stuff.
All right, because I kind of like going for the amateur porn. I like the raw. Like some people were just like fucking horny, and they're like, we're gonna put up a camera and we're gonna fuck and put it on like Pornhub. Like, and you can tell, it's like exactly that. They're like, I'm just doing it because that's their kink, and they're fucking like, and they're usually, you know, as attractive as me.
Depends on how amateur we're going. There's a wide spectrum.
True. That's Leo Lulu's same spectrum.
Here's what I would say. I feel like there's a rabbit hole with porn. And I have gone, 45 minutes of trying to get off really can take you down the rabbit hole. And here is what I have found over time.
A long time in the porn
like,
world.
That's a lot.
45 minutes.
I need a literal palate cleanser after that.
If you pay for porn, though, it would be way better. True.
I would say this. One thing I just realized is what I consume does actually change over time based on what I feel like I have access to. So back when I was in a heteronormative looking relationship and doing heteronormative vanilla sex, I mean, it did not take much for me to watch. Like, I definitely wanted to see pussy. I definitely, it was pretty. And when I think about it, it was pretty vanilla porn. And then when I started to expand and I was free and I was able to kind of start seeing women and, I was having more access to that, then I was like, hey, what about threesome porn? And I still kept it. And then I went through this period, and I'll talk about this in an upcoming podcast. Stay tuned. We'll be doing threesomes. Then when I was having more group sex, because I had a little period a while ago where that was happening, and I was like, oh, that's fun. I'm doing that already. Then I'm like, I want to watch like spanking porn. I want to see like grown women be spanked by like men. And then I would just watch that. And then, maybe that happened in my life. And then I was like, fuck, now I'm like, I go straight to the Google of like gangbang. Like, I want to watch gangbang porn. I want to see a woman and not gangbang like the violent, yucky guys are. I really don't like, I don't like it when it seems aggressive towards women, but like when a woman's just like, present your penises and pussies, and like there's just a group of people and she is like,
She-Hulk.
I'm not saying I'm ever going to do that and then I'll have to level up, but I'm just saying, like, I've noticed I think you're right. The things that you feel like you don't have access to, or you're like, I would never do that, or I'm not that kind of person, because you're still buying into the idea that if you did those things, it would mean something. But as I become more and more the kind of person who's like, none of this affects like my identity or who I am or my worth, then the more I end up going down the rabbit hole. And I'm like, what are those boundaries of interest? And I've like stumbled into like, there's this whole like nursing porn thing where guys like to like,
oh my god,
am I telling too much?
I've definitely heard of that.
What is this?
But I've never seen it.
Yeah, I stumbled into it. There is this couple, and I think they kind of capitalize. I haven't found so many other people, but there is this very attractive couple. Like, he just like sucks on her milk filled. I think she just keeps herself milk filled, and like that, and then they'll fuck while they're doing it and stuff.
Nursing as in baby milk.
Wait,
breast milk.
Breast milk. We are not going to yuck his yum.
I thought we were talking about the hospital. I was very confused.
Oh.
No. We're talking about titties full of milk. Titties full of milk.
So this has just been going for years for the for the porn.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think that she's turned her tits literally into money makers.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I mean, honestly, you can continue to express milk as long as
You keep
a thing
pumping.
is.
as long as someone's sucking
on
on
it.
them. And yeah. So, like, she can literally make her boobs money makers. But the whole point being is when I go down that rabbit hole, like sometimes I'm going down the rabbit hole and I'm getting off, but I'm like scrolling because like that's boring. He's ugly. She's annoying. I hate the noise they're making. And then suddenly I end up in this place
Wow.
with this thing happening. And I'm like, what? And then my clit will get confused. It's like, should I get excited or is this bad? And I'm like
And
on
that's
that
the
edge.
fun.
And I'm on that edge of like, oh my God, like the Catholic schoolgirl in me comes up and it's like, like, am I going to hell? And so I keep, kind of nervously rubbing while watching. And then I'm like, so that's a thing. Maybe it's hot. No one else has that happen.
Oh, I definitely have gone down rabbit holes. Where it's
All right.
just dirtier and dirtier and dirtier until, you're at the gangbang.
Those-
Wait until you're the gangbang is not as dirty as it gets. Come on, it's just a bunch of friends
for
having
me,
fun.
No. It might be.
Judging by porn, it happens to a lot of people.
Gangbanging?
Yeah.
Well, inevitably.
What constitutes a gangbang? I guess that's a different conversation we'll have to get
More
to.
than 4.
I'm guessing more than 3.
More than 3 penises becomes it.
Penises? Why does it have to be penises?
Does it?
No.
I mean, I don't. I think of it as group sex. Like, it could be a strap. Sometimes there's a woman with a strap on. Sometimes there's other women,
But
like, helping
no
out.
penetration has to happen for it to be a gangbang.
I feel like...
What is the definition of a gangbang?
I mean, is that how you define it?
Well, I don't know, Abby. How...
Being banged, but I just pictured at least fingers or something.
I'm sorry. Can you not bang a woman, Courtney? Am I the only fucking queer person
Apparently
here?
it's really hard.
So, gangbang, like, even sometimes I get bored with that. Like,
I can
well,
see that.
because, I mean, how long, like, especially...
It's so overstimulating.
Yeah.
But can I say what bores me the most in porn? And I'm curious about what your reaction to this is going to be is how long the dick sucking goes on when dicks are
Agreed.
involved. I'm like, I didn't,
This
like,
is where if you pay for porn, no.
yeah, I mean...
They cut that down.
Because no one wants to watch a woman, like, even if she's with, like, 4 or 5 guys, like, I don't need to see every dick sucked. Like, I don't. Like, give me maybe,
We
like...
need to talk about that topic a little bit more. Here's my issue with that.
Yes.
Every fucking time I see a woman sucking a guy's dick, for the most part, really the most part, it's skull fucking. It's not like,
jeez.
you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, let me choke you with my dick. And
Yeah.
like, honestly, I get why men are into that. People with penises are into that potentially. No shame. But come on, Like, it's not the only thing that you can do with a dick in a mouth. You know what I mean? Like, it can be a lot more sensual, a lot hotter for both parties involved. And it's annoying to me that that's the main way that it's depicted is skull fucking.
Yeah, and I don't...
How do you even breathe?
Like, I don't do that. I mean, like...
Of course you don't. That's the point.
And I
It's
haven't
not even
had...
hot.
Now, I do know some guys are dumb enough they watch the porn and they're like, I'm going to, like, shove her head down there. I mean... But generally speaking, I haven't found that that's what guys even want. I have found, like, I think...
Oh, yeah.
Men
They
like
want that. Oh, yeah. I've literally had people tell me specifically that
Choke
that's
on
what
it.
they want.
Choke on it. Yeah.
Literally using that language.
Choke
too.
on it. Yeah. That is,
So-
yeah. Hey guys, can we change that in the porn world? Because I also don't like it, and I don't like drooling because someone's choking someone with a dick. Like, that's just gross. I don't like
Yeah,
saliva
still
and
lesbian.
sloppiness. Well, there you have it.
I mean, it's just so, like, the workload is heavy. It's like a very heavy workload.
Yeah.
Eating pussy isn't.
No, I don't think it is. But
You guys, I had that girlfriend of mine who didn't like it. Like, she liked being banged like a guy. Like, she liked penetration and pounding, and I had my fucking arm, and I thought I was going to break a wrist. And
strap it on, Annette. Come on now.
I did. We did a little bit of that. That wasn't necessarily the thing. You're right. I do. You know what? I'm going to admit something else. I feel like that I should be saving this for Triple X, but I'm going to throw y'all a bone. And like, I don't think, I feel silly when I put a strap on and I'm like doing that.
Again, still a lesbian.
God,
I fucking love it.
I need to work on it. I'm willing to work on it. Like I'm, and look,
I get so excited.
I need to find one that I feel
That's really
sexy
surprising to hear from you.
That I get excited to strap it on?
No.
Yeah, no.
No, Courtney. Come on.
Nope.
That Annette doesn't like to strap it on.
Silly.
Yeah, that is surprising.
Okay, wait.
I mean, I'm surprised that I'm not. I don't know.
I did it. Okay, I don't have a strap on. Yeah.
How do you have a whole drawer of sex toys and no strap on?
I don't know.
What?
I know.
All you need is some duct tape.
You know what, though?
I believe in you.
Look, this is an area I am willing to work on, especially because...
I can't even put on my climbing harness without giggling.
Oh, fuck. Now I know why all the lesbians are at the climbing wall. Jesus. It all makes it. Yeah, like, you want to meet lesbians? Join a climbing gym. No fucking shit.
Noted.
It's true. True.
Yeah, I have a membership.
Shocking. Let's get back to the porn. So what we haven't talked about is this. And I know for a fact I'm not alone in this. Something that really turns me on, and I only dabble in it every once in a while, is I like watching gay guy porn.
Totally.
It doesn't do it for me.
I mean, men are hot.
Men are hot, but I'd rather see them fuck women.
Really?
Which is funny, because I think I find gay men more attractive.
Depends on the circumstance. Again, for me, it's about the situation.
Yeah.
I can't just have, like, two dudes and then, like, penetration. It has to be, like...
Two dudes that are into each other with a woman, I'm super into that. That's like...
Oh, that's literally the best.
Yeah.
That's the best.
That's what I'm looking for when I'm looking for porn, actually.
Wait, two dudes that are into each other and a woman. Uh-huh. That's what you're looking for.
Oh, for sure.
I like that. But I can watch guys bang each other.
I also just like it when two guys are into the woman and they're just, like, cool with each other and helping each other out, please her.
What does that mean? How are they helping each other?
That's the problem with the threesomes so often, is that it's all about the dudes. That drives me crazy.
No, but it's not about the dudes. It's all about the woman.
And it should be. But
yeah.
Often it's like her sucking two dicks at once.
Exactly.
And no one's paying attention to her pussy. Like, what the fuck is happening?
I don't think I don't watch porn like that. Like, I won't watch it where it's like, I'm just like, she would not be getting off on that.
Exactly.
It has to be. If I'm watching porn and there's more than one guy and a woman, like, I have to know they know what they're doing. Or I love it when she corrects them and she's like, play with my clit. Like, she's telling them what to do.
Fuck yeah.
Like, she literally knows she's a goddess who's commanding any
it's the goddess.
cock in the
Maybe
room,
that's,
right?
like, silly, but it's totally the goddess.
That should be a subcategory. Goddess porn.
Goddess porn.
What the hell?
Yeah.
For real.
I think one thing that people don't understand, or maybe porn people, like, women can tell when the fucking's bad. You know, and there's a lot of porn, and I swear to God, I think it's definitely made for guys. Because in my opinion, men are more obsessed with the size of other men's penis and how long they last and what they look like, you know, where I don't feel like women, like, we just want quality. Like, we know.
I want them to look good.
The dick?
Or
the body?
The lesbian wants attractive men in the porn.
I mean, that's not surprising.
What is attractive in porn for you? What kind of guy is attractive in porn for you?
outfit, tattoos.
Yes. Yes. Anything else?
I mean,
What does the cock look like?
I mean, they don't. It's not like there are ugly cocks in porn that I've seen. Or maybe I just steer clear of them.
Disagree. As a woman
Disagree.
I've definitely met more cocks than you. Courtney, I know cocks way better than you.
Oh, I can guarantee that. 100%.
There's some ugly fucking motherfucking cocks out there.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Let's this is gonna be our round of honesty. When you have gone down the rabbit hole of porn and you're like in it and your mind is in this like just hedonistic animalistic place and you're just like, you know, feeling gluttonous, you just want to consume some dirty shit. What is one bit of porn you've consumed, you've watched, something you've watched that afterwards you were like, I should not have watched that and I should not have come to it, but it really did get me off? Go.
The gangbang.
Tell your most shameful secrets.
Come on, Courtney.
I mean, I go to double penetration when I'm like, oh, all this other, my go-tos, the steps, they're not working. Go to the double penetration.
DP.
That'll help. Yeah.
Wait, what kind? What kind of DP?
What kind?
Oh, wow. There is double penetration. That's one in the pussy, one in the mouth. There's double penetration. That's
That
two
doesn't
in the
count.
vagina. That's
That
called
doesn't count.
DVP, two in the vagina. There is double penetration, one in the butt, one in the vagina.
That's what I'm talking about.
There is the
Standard.
like one in the mouth,
Standard.
one in the butt, one in the
BP.
Standard.
So you're saying standard is one in the butt, one in the vagina.
That's what I thought.
That's
Yeah.
what you go to get off.
If my other go-tos aren't getting me there, yeah. As it escalates.
Escalates.
Is
to-
that escalation?
I mean, we just shot straight there. I didn't like go through.
I mean, to me, that's not like. Is that really where you end up?
Yeah.
Wait, what happens?
At the end of the road?
I start vanilla. Yeah.
Heavy petting.
No, rough lesbian sex is actually what I start with.
Rough.
Or the straight boring people.
We didn't even talk. All right, well, we're getting back to the DVP with Abbie. DVP with Abbie in a minute, but rough lesbian sex. No, you didn't bring that up. And as a lesbian, I guess we should talk about lesbian porn, right? Let's not.
A lot of it's boring, but if you add the rough, it's not as boring.
I just want to say I'm a bi woman, and I absolutely did not say that lesbian porn was boring. However, the token lesbian-ish
It is
person
not.
in the room said it was boring. So, what is
It's wonderful.
I guess it's boring to me because it's what I have in my life all the time. That's what I'm saying. People search for shit that they aren't doing.
Right. So you're having rough lesbian sex all the time?
I mean, no.
Not rough. Wonderful.
So you start with either straight porn. The lesbian-ish person in the room starts with straight porn, goes and lesbian sex, rough lesbian sex. What is this? Give me 2 stop points between that and DVP gangbang porn.
Queer threesome. That's the sweet spot.
Uh-huh.
And probably just anal.
Butt stuff.
Giant cocks and little butts.
Oh my God.
That is the only soundbite I need from tonight.
Oh my God, Courtney.
Courtney, have you ever had a giant cock in your butt?
me here to be honest.
Yeah, I like
Yes.
it. I'm totally appreciative. I mean, whatever you.
I have not had a giant cock in my butt. No, I have not. No thanks. I'm not there for that. That's why I'm watching it. That's what I'm saying.
Whatever you have watched, trust me, I have taken to the next level. All right, Abbie. Sounds like
confession time.
You are familiar with the DVP, but that's PG, man.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's PG. I just don't think like butt stuff is like that like rated R. You know, it's kind of basic in my opinion, right? Like it's pretty basic. But, you know, when you start, you know, typing in search words like small butts, big dick, that slightly veers off into another realm.
I am totally going to be doing that in the very near future. Small butts, big dicks.
So, I think that there's a cascade of, you know, options. I feel like my porn is pretty, like, vanilla. There's just, like, one guy, not gonna say his name. I'm really not gonna say his name because I don't want people to take my screen time. But he's just, like, really good at, like, what you were talking about earlier, Annette, where you were, like, watching certain porn and you were like, I know this bitch is not getting off. When you watch him with any woman, you can tell that, like, they're totally into it. And you're thinking, like, this guy is probably, like, so popular in the porn realm because, like, all these women are like, oh my god, I want to fuck that guy. Like, it would probably be so good. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So really, it's just, like, somebody, like, being really good at fucking women that I'm mostly into. Partly, I mean, I think if listeners have listened to all the past episodes, they know that I'm a sensual person. So, like, what turns me on with sex in any sexual environment is, like, a connection and, like, seeing that somebody, like, intuitively knows their way around your body. So it's not necessarily, like, the sex acts. It's just, like, how they move together. Although I've seen good porn with, like, 2 men and 1 woman with the whole goddess thing that we were talking about, where the men are just, like, really catering to her body and, like, everything that she needs. So it's not so much that one's in the pink and one's in the stink, but, like, that you can tell that she's, like, super down and into it. And, like, as a woman, I would know that, like, how they're moving around her body, it would feel really good. So I don't really, like, today I'm gonna be looking up, you know, small butts, big dicks. You know, it's more just like, do I see a couple or a scenario that turns me on?
Well, so what are some of the things that make you be like, I need to go to the next? I mean, for me, like, one is like, okay, the dick sucking has gone on too long. This is not porn that was made for me.
Although I have seen, like, porn where it's just the woman sucking a dick and, like, the way that it's happening is super sensual and hot, and you can tell that it's not
she's into
skull
it.
fucking, and she's into it, and like, even if it gets a little rough at a point, like, it still feels like right, you know? So that's turned me on for sure before.
So did you tell us your dirtiest thing you've gone to?
I've seen the machine porn.
The machine porn, what?
What is that?
How do you not know what that is? If you've looked at, and you have, like, every single one of
I have
the toys on Earth.
Okay, so the one that I have seen that involved a machine, I'm going to give it to you in detail. It is a woman on all fours who's strapped into this machine. Mm-hmm. And it's behind her, and it's this giant cock. Like, giant. Like, I'm like, I've had babies, and that looks like it's on par. And and it's slowly being, like, put into her. Yeah. And her pussy is, like, swollen with, like, in the good way. Yeah. Not in a bad way, but it's, like, it is, like, filled with, I mean, I was like, holy holy shit.
Yeah.
So like she clearly is enjoying it.
Yeah.
But she's like, it is like a little bit of BDSM, as in there are restraints, and this thing is picking up speed, and only it's like at first it's just the tip, because like you could not, I was like, there's no way that whole thing is happening.
Yeah.
And then by the end.
Right, exactly. That's it.
And I was like, do I like that? Like, I was confused. I definitely did not come. I was so confused by, is that what you're talking about? Did you see that one?
Totally. Well, not that one. There's a whole genre associated with that. I think what we often see on the machine porn, and I don't even know if that's like exactly what the genre is called, but like is just the part where like she's on her all fours, or she's strapped up with her legs up, or whatever position she's in. I've seen people upside down. You only see the part where like the video starts where she's getting penetrated and she's already strapped up. But if you go to Courtney's website that she pays for, you can see like the whole entire build up, and that's it speaks to kind of what I was talking about earlier, where anybody in the BDSM community knows it's all about consent, kind of tuning into the person and partner. And rough sex can be hot as shit. It's not like one or the other, right? And so like in the beginning, they have a conversation, and then like it's like kind of a slow build up, and then it gets to this point where they're like, it's like the peak, but you're almost edging. It's like BDSM is really just like a very gradual edge with a partner. And so I think that's what's kind of exciting about it, is that it's just like you're hacking like the funnest parts of sex by using a fucking machine, but there's somebody there who knows exactly what you're into, exactly what gets you off, and they're manning it, you know?
Right.
So
machine sex, that's Abbie's like,
it's not my go-to.
not her go-to, but that's where she
watched
made
it in a long time. To be honest,
it's where she might end up. I've ended up in so many places. Dogging porn. I just learned about dogging.
What is that?
That's a Google. Dogging porn is like where people drive out women, people with women drive out to dogging spots, and like people will know that they're dogging spots and come out, and like she or whoever the person will have sex with like strangers that come up to the car.
Oh my god, I thought you were talking about a dog.
No,
I was like, this is bad. I don't like that.
I don't go. Now that is FYI.
I thought that they were gonna treat her like a dog.
Oh, see, you're a better person than me.
That I might watch. No,
like get on all fours and they're gonna chase you around.
Puppy play.
I've definitely pet play. I have definitely watched, and it isn't my thing. Role playing, I will do a podcast on role playing. It's definitely not my thing. And pet play is actually a big thing where girls get into cages, or guys. I mean, I say because that's what primarily pops up, but a person will actually be in a dog cage and be fed, and like all this stuff happen. They wear ears, and they have butt plugs that are tail. Pet play is thing. I have gone there. It does not get me off, and I've not indulged. But dogging, I've been there. I do get into cuck play a little bit, where typically a man is forced to watch his woman get fucked, and then he's got to like clean her up after. That's hot. I don't know. It's a power play thing. But, I feel like we've shared a lot here. I feel like this conversation could go on forever, especially as we get more comfortable, and especially as I start to go through the film index in my head. I'm like, oh, I've watched that too. But I think it's safe to say, if there's something we've come up with here, women tend to watch porn that aligns with not necessarily what they're having at the time, but
what they're wanting.
It's what you're wanting. Yeah. And do you always want it though? Like, do you want one in the pink and one in the stink?
No. Although I might enjoy strapping it on and being a part of that.
All right. Well, maybe it is something that we all want. But definitely whatever, if you are, like, again, having a certain kind of sex, you're probably watching porn that isn't the kind of sex you're having at the moment. I think that do we all agree on that a little bit?
I mean, I'm definitely not having machine porn.
But would you?
I mean, maybe, sure, why not?
Yeah.
I think fantasy is supposed to be like this fantasy, you know?
That's what
and
porn is.
it's supposed to remain there, more or less.
Okay.
More or less.
More or less. Yeah, so what I want to know to any of our women identifying folks out there listening, please feel free to email me at Annette, ANNETTE, at sheexploreslife.com to tell me, do you agree with what we're saying about women and porn? If you're listening to this and you're like, I would think it was cheating if my partner was watching porn, I want to hear from you. Guys, what are your thoughts? Are you surprised at what you heard? How does your experience differ from like our watching of porn? Because clearly we all watch porn here. You can see there are different levels of content ingestion. If you want to level up your listening experience here, then I want you to check out Locker Room Talking Shots Podcast XXX. Now, that is a $5 a month subscription. You can find it really easy. You're just going to head to the website or scroll down in the notes and click on the link that I've left you. You'll also see episodes pop up like we've got Beyond Fuck Follies, I Think I Drank My Breast Milk, She Puked on My Kitty, and LRT Secrets. It has some pretty crazy information in it. The one we published before that was XXX Male Chastity, Why I Put My Cock in a Cage. A listener wrote in to tell me and resident dominatrix Lucy all about why they decided to try out male chastity. Those episodes will be published every week by Thursday. $5 to subscribe, and that $5 goes a long way towards helping support this podcast so we can keep doing what we're doing. So anyways, that's that. You know all about women in porn. Until next time, guys. Cheers.